Okay, so once again, if you're not familiar with how I do these things sometimes, when it comes to the more geeky stuff like comic books, Star Wars, even some video game material, I tend to just give my overall thoughts very early on and then have a really big spoiler section. There'll be little breakpoints in between, so if you want to skip over the spoilers, that's what it'll be like. Okay? Okay. Alright, so the first 3 episodes of Star Wars Andor, or just Andor, have aired, and I have to give them a C so far. There's some very good parts of this. I think the movie, well, it's not quite a movie, but it's a television series. It's very well shot, has a good cinematic feel to it. There's some good performances from Diego Luna, Fiona Shaw, Kyle Soller, and a droid by the name of B2EMO that has especially scene stealing. But unfortunately, this thing is done in by some horrible sound mixing again. Again, this time we have way loud background noise that drowns out dialogue sometimes to the point that I could barely hear what was happening. I have to turn the volume up to hear the dialogue, but then I have to turn the volume down because the background noise is so freaking loud sometimes. I don't know what's going on with these Disney Plus shows, or maybe I just need to get a sound bar. I don't know. Also, the story itself is a little too padded out and downright confusing at times. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly certain characters' motivations are, and unfortunately that just leads to a very uneven feeling throughout all of this. It is enough to at least make me want to watch more, but not quite enough to say I give it a full recommendation by any stretch of the imagination. So that's why I'm giving it a C.
The Force is back. The rebels won't tire till they see the last of the Empire. And Kenner's there with Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection.
The next prisoner, Gamorrean guard. Gladly, Jabba the Hutt.
C-3PO, Gamorrean guard, and Jabba the Hutt play set each sold separately.
Mr. Hutt, you've captured my friend. Free him and keep me instead.
That's a sorry tale, but this tale make you sorrier.
Jabba the Hutt play set and other action figures each sold separately from Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection from Kenner.
Okay, again, this is a spoiler section, so skip to this point if you wish to avoid. Alright? Okay. So, yes, Star Wars Andor, or just Andor. Again, this thing bounces around for what it's called. Sometimes it's just Andor, and sometimes it's Star Wars Andor, so, or Andor, a Star Wars story. So I'm just going to call it Star Wars Andor for now. Anyway, this is a prequel to Rogue One, a Star Wars story, so this takes place, give or take, roughly in between, obviously, episodes 3 and 4, and obviously before Rogue One, and I would say probably just after Solo. Like, it's a little bit before, it's a few years, obviously, before Rogue One, because we're seeing the the groundwork being laid for, Cassian Andor to join the Rebel Alliance, which he kind of does at the end of the 3rd episode, but it's not exactly of his own free will. Still, basically, you know, we follow him around as he's trying to track down his sister, or who he claims to be his sister. It's unsure exactly what this is going on with, or what's going on here, but basically, he was part of a mining colony on Kareen, I think it was called. And it gets, like I said, sometimes the names are hard to keep track of. But it's not so much a mining colony as there was this group of kids, I guess, who got separated from their parents, and there was a Imperial mining colony on this planet, and they had an outbreak of some type of toxic fuel that obviously killed people, and caused at least one corpse to possibly reanimate, which they have tackled the idea of zombies in the Star Wars universe. There was a novel called, I think it was Death Troopers, that was a Star Wars zombies novel. It was a very weird book. And anyway, so yeah, it was, like I said, this little village of children, basically, not quite Lord of the Flies, but kind of close to it, saw this ship crash. They went to investigate. One of the kids got killed. He stayed behind to try to harvest some parts. And as that happening, 2 scavengers named Clem and Marva Andor found him and basically realized that if the Empire comes back looking for this kid and sees him, they're going to kill him. So they knock him out and basically take him away to raise him in hopeful safety. We then kind of jump ahead to, I guess, the present, for lack of a better term, where, as I said, Andor is trying to find his sister. He is on the colony of, Marlana 1. It's a corporate zone for one of the major mining company, which is called Primor. He goes to a bar where he tries to look up information. He gets accosted by 2 members of the Primor security force. So, yeah, we're kind of in, 1900s mining corporate mining town logic with their own law enforcement teams. He gets into a fight and kills one of them and has to kill the other one to hopefully keep quiet. And he flees back to his apparent home planet of Ferric 1. Or no, Ferric, yeah. And, he tries to lay low as best he can. He does set up a black market deal with his friend Bix Colleen, who is a semi sort of love interest, because there's kind of a love triangle thing going on with Bix, Andor, and another guy named Tim Carlo, which will have some ramifications later. And that leads, but unfortunately, because the deaths of these 2 Primor security officers are found, and a investigator named Cyril Karn is assigned to investigate. And he is very by the book, very detail oriented. He's just obsessed with trying to find out who killed these guys, and he has added pressure because the higher ups really don't want this to be a murder. They're trying to downplay how bad the crime is to the Empire so that the Empire doesn't step in and take over. And so they said, look, we just want you to cover up. You say these are 2 guys, something happened, they charged in to save someone, and they were unfortunately killed in the line of duty. They bravely sacrificed their lives rather than, they jumped, they accosted, they were 2 drunks who accosted a guy in an alley and, just the wrong guy, basically. However, it's pretty soon that, because Andor's kind of identified, they pieced together some things. Added to that, Tim Carlo is obviously a bit jealous of Bix in a relationship with Andor. Whether or not there actually is a romance between the 2, I don't know. But there's definitely a romance between Bix and Tim, Timm, by the way. Yeah, so he gets jealous and thinks he's trying to steal his girl. So Tim is the one who winds up reporting Andor, and there's this APB put out on him. As this happens, the security team comes, they confront Marva, and they hear Andor over the comm on B2EMO. That is their service droid. He's not quite an R2 unit, he's not quite BB-8, it's kind of in between, sort of a Wall-E design. I don't know if I have a picture of him right there. And yeah, I know you're going to see pictures of the stormtroopers in this. There are not stormtroopers in these first 3 episodes. But, that brings the security team down eventually, and as this is happening, he's trying to make a deal for this Imperial space part. Andor's trying to make a deal for this Imperial space part so he can get transport off of there, because he knows he's been marked. He has to get away to save those he cares about. And it's with a man by the name, it's Stellan Skarsgård's character of Lucien, I wrote it right here, Lucien Rael. And it turns out Lucien is actually part of the Rebel Alliance, and he's known about Cassian Andor for some time, and he's basically trying to use this as a means to recruit him. He doesn't care about this Imperial part at all, especially since it turns out it can be tracked. And as the security forces are closing in, Lucien helps Andor stage an escape, and basically Andor has no choice. He's got to join and leave if he wishes to see his family get saved. As this happens, Tim Carlo is killed, and basically, Bix finds out that Tim is the one who sold out Andor. She goes to try to warn him. She gets caught by the by pre-com security. They in turn wind up killing Tim when he tries to come to her aid. I will also say this: we in an earlier scene, because Tim and Bix have kind of a drunken liaison, we do get all but the briefest moments of Star Wars nudity. So I guess if you wanted to see that, you got that going for you. Like I said, there's definitely some interesting groundwork here. Unfortunately, the story itself is just a little too uneven. Like I said, it's hard to figure out what I'm still having problems remembering certain characters' names because, again, the sound mixing is so bad that I can't hear things properly. I guess I don't know what it is with Disney Plus shows. Sometimes they're fine, they're crystal clear, I can hear things relatively well, and other times it's just this. Like, in this case, it was really bad. This isn't even the Marvel shows where everything is mixed so low sometimes that, you know, I can't hear anything. In this case, again, it's all the background noise. Like, there's rain and mining equipment going off in the background all the time, and, you know, and it completely muffles everyone's voices. Like, I really wish I could describe it to you, but I mean, that's the best way I could describe it without doing a full-on demonstration with, like, a fan here or something. But that's kind of the equivalent I could make, is, you know, someone sitting right next to a fan that's blowing while also trying to talk over it. And it's just, again, it leads to a very uneven feeling. Like I said, decent action sequences, well shot, good performances, but again, I'm not entirely sure where this, I mean, obviously I know where it's going. I saw Rogue One, so I know what happens to Cassian Andor, I can't, but, you know, other than that, I just don't know what else there is. You know, I do wonder where exactly this is going, but right now it's just kind of one of those things where I hope this picks, and like I said, I hope the sound mixing gets better. Like, hopefully now that we're off Ferric, you know, sound will slowly improve. But other than that, like I said, it's not bad. It's just not the type of thing I would immediately recommend to someone to watch. That's why I gave it a C.
The Rancor monster's hungry again. Let's feed him. Don't do it.
Luke Skywalker, Gamorrean Guard, new Rancor Monster and Rancor Keeper action figures, each sold separately.
You'll regret this. Wait till he gets his claws into a Jedi Knight. Whoa, some Jaws. This is my only chance. He's wounded. We better get in there. He'll never get out alive, Gamorrean Guard.
New Rancor Monster, action figures, each sold separately, from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
Okay, again, the next video is going to be the recap and review for the finale of She-Hulk. After that, it's going to be the recap and review for Against All Odds. And then it'll be the random trade review on Transformers: The World in Your Eyes. I have it scripted, I just need to do, well, pretty much everything else. The last one should be out on Sunday. This will be out on Thursday. You could do the math of the other two. So hopefully that all makes sense. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/sleepytime for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.